welcome here on YouTube Live. YouTube Live, I guess, is my favorite platform now. I'm at the coffee shop next door to the Vietnam restaurant, and I had a really good session last night. It was cool, so I just thought I would come on tonight for a little while. I'm drinking some spiced rum. I made a new batch. Just some spices I got from my friend. Hi everyone. We got three viewers. Bonjour from Daniel. How are you? Bonjour. I should say bonsoir. It's nighttime here. I'm still not getting comments on the app itself, but I am getting comments on my second device. And so we got three viewers. Hello, how's everybody doing? And let's see. Let me know who's in here. Hey, Jaspy. My goodness, how are you? All right. I know that's not the most ideal time for you, but excuse me. Thanks for joining. How are you? Oh, you're watching replay from last night. Oh, I see. Painful, wasn't it? I was tired, man. Was I tired last night? I don't know why. I was just so beat, and I looked a little bit at the replay. Sometimes I check my replay to see how big of a fool I made out of myself, you know, on the stream before. But I just realized how altogether tired I was. Now let me tell you something here. The new cart over here. I don't know what they're going to do, but I haven't seen that cart before. It looks like they might be trying to do something different. Now, Win told me that the lights on this tree, remember there's lights on that tree? And it doesn't, I mean, it used to light up, remember? The place that always blinking lights, the lights don't work. So Win asked me if I could fix them. So I told her, of course I can fix them. I just haven't done it yet. I gotta bring my tools over here. I don't know when I could do it, probably Friday. Who knows? Maybe I can spare a little time tomorrow. I don't think so. I'm gonna go see my friend Paul tomorrow. It's just busy. Maybe Wednesday afternoon. I just gotta, it's probably something really simple. They're on a switch over there, and switch also other switch controls the the fan. I think the switch is working. It's just a matter of, I think they damaged the wires because they were messing around with it. When people don't know what they're doing with wires, anything can happen. Now, one of my old-time sponsors here, CNC Lemon. I'm drinking my spiced rum with this lemon soda. It's low sugar, and I gotta tell you, it's got lots of cinnamon in it this time. It's so dark. Here, let me show you. You guys want to see this? Let me show you how dark this is. This is a dark rum anyway, but it's not this dark. Look at that. You can't even see through it. Yeah, that's because of the cinnamon. It's got clove, vanilla, and two other spices that my friends gave me that they say is used in, what is it, basmati rice that's used in Indian food. And I can't think of the names of them. I've seen them before, but I don't know what they are. And so I used the spices, all together, the three of them, cloves and these other two, and did a long 2-week infusion and made a really strong infusion that I had to cut down with some fresh rum. I couldn't drink it straight. Oh yeah, it is good. Let me tell you. So Jaspy says that she had some awesome Japanese whiskey tonight. Wow. Sounds good. What kind? We drink Suntory. I was drinking Suntory yesterday and over the weekend. I went to that resort. Now you guys, today I uploaded the pictures from yes, I do. I have enough room for everybody. Yeah. And that's the kind of guy I am. I uploaded the pictures to Lightroom and on my computer, and I started processing them today. Nika and Suntory, good. Now I've had Nika. Nika's pretty interesting. It's kind of an acquired taste, but Nika is not bad. And a couple years ago, I met a Japanese gentleman on the East Coast, and he asked me. We were sitting in his office talking, and he goes, "You like to drink?" We're like, "Yeah." And so he says, "This rum or this whiskey is made by the boss who started Nika, and he sold the company. So this is his new whiskey company, and it was really good. So it was kind of, I don't know what the brand was, but it was just some new brand back then. It's 2011 is when that happened. But had a bottle of Eska, the best water in a bottle. I've never seen Eska, never heard of that. But the best water I ever had in a bottle was from Iceland. It was a clear plastic can and had a metal top on it, pressed on it, just like a regular, just like a beer can or a soda can. Anyway, at the resort we were drinking, because I was in East Taiwan a couple days ago, and we were drinking Suntory on the last night. It was nice. Yeah, that special rum, or special, I keep saying rum, that special whiskey that we had, the Nika whiskey, was quite by the owner of Nika, the founder of Nika, his new company. Yeah, I'm all right. That was really special stuff. Is it? Is it expensive? Because we got, Japanese whiskey bottles and bring them back with you. But is it expensive there? Because it's pretty cheap here. The tall bottle of Suntory, the yellow, the tall bottle is 390 NT. So it's pretty cheap. Really, I didn't know that. Daniel says that Suntory is also in the plants business. They breed many interesting varieties available around the world. And Jaspy says she should look it up, and she said, yes, it can be expensive, whiskey in Australia. A bottle of Suntory whiskey here is less than 15 bucks, it's about 12 bucks. And I told my friend Colby about it, and he found the exact same bottle in the United States for 60 bucks. So, yeah, you'll just have to ask, Australian incoming what the Taiwanese do is they always pack the maximum number of bottles that you can take, and they take one more and they open it and take drinks out of it and put it in their bag. So they say, this one is mine. It's like their personal bottle they can take in, plus the ones in their luggage. So I thought that was pretty cool. So Daniel says their most popular breeding was the Surfinia Petunia. I don't know about that. Yeah, well, let me tell you, for 65 bucks, I probably would be doing a lot less drinking than what I am. This rum that I'm drinking is 280 NT, so it's significantly less than $10. And I jazz it up with spices, and it ends up being like a lot more expensive. I mean, it tastes like a lot more expensive rum, So yeah, Jaspy says around 65 bucks. Yeah, so there you go. It's amazing how the same product sells for different prices in different markets around the world, isn't it? Because I go to Thailand and Suntory is really cheap there. And they got lots of stuff that I've never seen before, like Suntory Red I never saw outside of Thailand. Suntory Gold I never saw outside of Thailand. I'm sure it does exist. I mean, obviously they have it in Japan. But for a couple years I was going to Thailand and getting these Suntory Red bottles, and they came with a little bag. Yeah, it does. Same with the States. So that's why it was 60 some bucks. Now that was a while ago. It's probably more than that now. There's a liquor store in New England called Blanchard's. Yeah, and they get all kinds of cool stuff. I've had either 4 or 5 different kinds of Chinese beer, and not just Tsingtao, but others. Like I remember there's a beer called Panda that was so like handcrafted that the labels were obviously put on by hand. They were all crooked because they got kind of creased while they put them on. So Daniel says, in fact, I've known Suntory for their flower breeding before knowing them for their beer and alcohol. Now, are you sure that's the same company? I mean, I know they do a lot of other stuff, and they do also do soft drinks, and they do beer. I don't know if you guys have seen Suntory beer. I've had Suntory beer. It's pretty good. Gosh, this is really good with the C&C lemon and this. Wow, I wasn't expecting it to be this good. It's a good thing I only brought one bottle of mixer. I probably would drink too much. That's the problem with some of these drinks, like ladies' drinks. I was telling my friends the other night that when my wife was trying to, some cocktails, she asked me what she should get, and I said a lot of people like the Long Island iced tea, and she never had one before. And she got really wasted on Long Island iced tea. Okay, thank you, Daniel. Daniel's 100% sure it's the same company. And I got to tell you, when these, like we call them ladies' drinks, when they go down smooth, it's easy to overdrink. It's very easy to drink too much because you don't know you're drinking it. So, Jaspy says you're making me crave more whiskey there, MJ. Sorry about that, Jaspy. We even have Glendronach here, and Glendronach is very cheap here compared to other countries. That's my favorite distiller. And when you make it over here, I'm going to have to make sure that you get a chance to try that. Okay, I can do that. Daniel's asking me to do a search on Google, to search on Suntory flowers. Yeah, I can definitely do that. There's a liquor store in Jubei, which is like, I don't know, 15 minutes from here. It was started by a Taiwanese guy who started importing his own stock of scotch, you know, just for his own consumption. And he realized that there was a big need for a scotch store, and he's got scotches that I've never seen before. I was in there the other day, and he's got a 40-year-old scotch by Glendronach. He's got another one by somebody else that's like 50 years old. And some of these bottles aren't for sale. They're thousands of US dollars if you want to get them. He also has rums from, okay, thank you. I hope you do. I hope you can join us here on in January. But he's got some rums from Cuba. Stuff I've never heard of, and it looks fantastic. They're really expensive, but we can take a run to that store. I can show you that store. In January, JL from Switzerland and some of his friends are planning a trip to Taiwan, and they've invited a number of big name periscopers, and so far it looks like quite a number of them are going to make it here. And everybody I think knows who Yuka is by now. Yuka has been here 2 times at least. I've met Yuka 2 times, and she says she wants to come for the meetup. She's coming here in I think next month for the balloon festival, I think. So yeah, please let us know, and you can come down to Hsinchu and be a guest on Late Night in front of the iconic, Vietnam store. So Caspar will be with us. JL, and I think the other gentleman's name is John from LA. February, that's good. February would be good. It'll be a little bit cold. If you've been in Taiwan before, so I think you know what to expect. But the wind can really pick up in February. It's funny how it is here because it's so, especially during the winter. During the winter, I'm used to super dry winters like in New Hampshire and New England, where the snow is powdery. It's not even wet. And Daniel will know what I'm talking about because up on the east coast of North America. Cool. And here in Taiwan it's completely different. And I have looked at the temperature and saw that it was only like about 50 degrees Fahrenheit, which is really not that much. Because I would go outside like near 0 temperatures Fahrenheit. As long as I had, there's no wind, I take my shirt off and sweat. There's no bugs. It's great. So Jaspy says that she's heading to Japan for the snow too. Yeah, well there you go. Beautiful. We have snow, but only on Jade Mountain, and you can't do that here. I've seen like where it's 50 some degrees Fahrenheit, and it was just bone chilling cold here. I couldn't believe how cold it was. I felt chilled, and it's not easy to make me feel chilled because I lived in New England for almost 30 years. You know, the last 5 years before I moved to Taiwan, the last 5 years I lived in New Hampshire, and the snow was waist high in the wintertime. It also gets quite hot and humid in the summertime. Wow, this rum goes down so nice with this CC lemon. I'm gonna have to, I think I hit on something here. Who knew? Because I usually just do, you know, plain soda water. So, all right. So who do we have with us? We have Jaspy, and we have Daniel Drolet, and I know we have one other viewer, live viewer, and if you get a chance, please say hello and let me know where you're viewing from. Yeah, Daniel says, Jaspy, if you're looking for snow, come to Canada. And boy, you are so right. I had my Jeep up there in wintertime. It was something. I have a lot of diesel Volkswagens up there too, I noticed. I don't want to do that. All right, I'm going to pour my second and final drink of the evening. Jaspy, let me tell you, Montreal is my favorite international city. You will love it there. Now this is how much I put in, not very much, you know, in the bottom of the glass, see? Like 3 fingers, maybe 4. And then the rest of the cup, that's the last of that mixer. And so this is gone, so I'm not drinking anymore. When this is finished, when this cup is down, I'm done. Yes, Jaspy, you will love Montreal. I've been all over. I've been to the Biodome. I've been on the river. Let's see. Been to the Botanical Gardens. I've been to Mount Royal. I've been to the Olympic Park. So I've been around, and everybody told me to go to St. Catherine Street, so that's where I didn't go. Is that what it was? Anyway, is that the name of the street? Anyway. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Well, it's a beautiful night. The moon is out. Gosh, it's like one day off of full, so it's a waning gibbous by one day. But it's nice. It's not really nice out. It's not hot at all. It's a little bit chilly. A lot right over there. Cool. Friend brought it back. That was nice. Do you collect mugs? Because it sounds silly, but I collect shot glasses from different places that I go. Because you can always get these souvenir shot glasses at places, and they don't take up a lot of space. You know, so I collect little shot glasses, and I use them to, sample my rum concoctions and my whiskey. I can't remember the name of it. I'm going to do a review on it. I'm almost done with the first bottle, but I found a rum that was new to me. It was, Jaspy says, ooh yeah. I think she means shot glasses. It's a new whiskey. Did I say rum? It's a new whiskey, a new scotch that I found. And, Jaspy says she had to stop for a while because Mom got annoyed. Ha ha, I hear you. Got to stop your collections, I hear you. And it's a Highland Scotch, but it tastes like it's not really, it tastes like it's from another region. It has kind of a cereal aroma to it, like cereal. And almost like the Glen Rotha's families of whiskeys. Jaspy said that she had too many mugs, so she had to stop. Her mom got annoyed for having too many mugs. When we go to Cabela's stores throughout the United States, we'll always grab a mug from there. We've been to the one in West Virginia, and we went to the one in Maine. Those two, so they're pretty cool. But this new whiskey, I've got to do a review on it, but it's actually quite good and it's inexpensive. It's only 650 NT, which is about $21 for a bottle of it in our currency here. But if it's cheap here, it's going to be cheap, you know, everywhere around the world, relatively speaking. So it's actually a very drinkable whiskey, and I'm very glad that I got it. Now, ordinarily, you would not take your fine single malts and mix them in a cocktail. But because this particular whiskey is inexpensive enough, you can do that. And it still tastes, it tastes great. It's got a fine smoky flavor because they use peat to smoke the malted barley with. No, the aroma is like cereal. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like breakfast cereal, like grains. The aroma, the nose, has a little bit of a cereal flavor, but they smoke the barley with peat because they burn the peat. You know, the peat moss from the bogs. And man, oh man, the combination is really nice. It's nice. If you are familiar with the Glen Rothes family of whiskeys, they're really fine whiskeys. They have a what do they call it? A vintage. I forget what they call it. Anyway, there's several different types, and it is nice. It really is. The Glen Rothes doesn't have the smoke flavor though. I like a smoky flavor as long as it's not medicinal. I've had a couple that were like medicine. Lefroy can be a little bit medicine-y, and the ass keg is the one that was so unbelievably medicine-y, it was hard for me to finish the bottle. Daniel says, I told my wife this morning, before I die and be incinerated, sorry, before I die and be incinerated, give me to eat, that sounds like Chinese, 给我吃, give me to eat, a big bag of corn seed. That's popcorn for all. I don't think you have to wait until you're about ready to kick the bucket for that, do you? Yeah. You should be able to just go out and find that and just do that. Hey, why not? Nothing wrong with that. So please, who's joined us today? We got Daniel Drolet and we got Jaspy. I was thinking might be Caspar, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure who we got a fourth viewer just joined us. Thanks for joining. This is MJ. We're here in Taiwan. We're at the local coffee shop. I just had a Vietnam style coffee, and I'm drinking some homemade spiced rum in a lemon soda. And I'm looking down because my YouTube Live app is not giving me the comments, so I'm looking at. I've got an iPhone down here that I'm using to read comments on. So that's the only way that I can respond. Otherwise, this will be a monologue. So yeah, what's the name of the? I can't. It's Ardberg, I think. Ardberg. I think it's Ardberg, but I'm gonna have to go look at it. John Sabot, how are you? As I live and breathe. Ladies and gentlemen, John Sabot, Far East Adventure Travel. And for those of you who are listening who don't follow John on YouTube, you need to follow him. He does some really great stuff on YouTube. John's a good editor, and he takes some of the live streams that he's done and repurposes them along with other he cuts in other video segments. Great. So not a whole lot, man. Just hanging out, and I really hit a good combination. I got a special spiced rum that I made, and I'm drinking it with C&C lemon for a mixer. And brother, man, it's like a lady's drink. It goes down so. You bet. John says thanks, of course. And yeah, well, let me read this. Daniel Drolet says, "Hi, John. You also do excellent broadcasts." And so, John, you know what's really cool is I've been looking at your YouTube stuff, and you've always got like the wildest look on your face. You know what I mean? Like a giant smile. It's a friendly look. It's not a scary look. It's a friendly look. It's just a big giant smile, you know, and like, you know, look over here. So it's pretty cool. It's funny actually. So But yeah, what I had done was, John, you probably know what these. A friend, I'm embarrassed because I don't know what they are. A friend of mine gave me 3 spices. One of them is cloves, and the other 2 I don't know. Oh, plus they gave me real nutmeg nuts, and I smashed one of the nutmeg nuts and put it in a bottle with some cloves and 2 of the other spices. They're from Indian food. They're used, I guess, in what they call it, basmati rice. And I made it infusion for 2 weeks, and it was way too strong. I took a shot of it, and it made my tongue numb. I was like, oh. So, yep, just to get attention. That's right. It makes a lot of sense just to get attention, and you don't look silly or anything like that. So it's good, because if you look silly, then it makes people stand off. So, no, I think it's a balance, and I think you hit the balance. And so, I added cinnamon to it. I infused cinnamon to it, and the cinnamon wasn't quite strong enough. So today I had another bottle of brand new rum, and I infused even more cinnamon in it. And let me show you this. This is a regular bottle of dark rum, but let me show you how dark this is. This is so dark, man. You can't even, it looks like coffee. You can't even see through it. And it's cinnamon, and it's got those spices in it, plus 2 vanilla beans. And so I took a shot of it with this CNC lemon, and it's off the charts. It's really great. So maybe I had some mace. John says maybe I had some mace too, because of the numb in my tongue. I know that's what it felt like. I should have put it in a spray bottle and carried it around me for a personal personal protection. And so just enough to make it dark. So I definitely know what I did, and I have the other bottle with those spices still in it, uncontaminated with cinnamon, so I can make a new infusion of that stuff, and then I can add the cinnamon later, and I can do this again. So the next time you come up, man, we can check this out. And my friend, they wrote down the name of the spice. I'm gonna have to, I'll DM it to you or something, just because I'm sure that you, with your extensive experience, will know what those spices are, because I don't know what they are. So yeah. Yeah. Well, basically, I'm upset, and I wrote a blog about it, because Costco used to sell that Caribbean spice rum, and then they stopped for no reason, right? And I even complained to them, and I wrote an email, and they didn't answer. And so I wrote a blog post about it, complaining. And one of my readers said that they get this cheap rum. It's 280 NT or less, depending on where you get it, but the maximum price is 280. It's a dark Taiwanese rum, excuse me. On its own, it's okay. It's not fantastic, but it is like matured in oak. And he said that he spices it, and he went on to talk about the different spices that he does, and I was like, duh. Why didn't I think of that? Of course, yeah, of course. So I was upset, absolutely upset about it, but happy that he told me. So I wrote back to him and told him I'm going to start doing this. That's what I've been doing. So, yeah, I know. It is. But the thing is, if you look at my blog post, there's like 4 kinds of vodka and 6 kinds of tequila. Now, John, I'm going to ask you a question. In all your travels, have you ever seen any Taiwanese drink tequila or vodka? And I already know the answer is no. So, who's drinking it? And if it's foreigners, then you need to get the spice rum back, because they're drinking that too. So, every time I go to one of those food shows, there'd be foreigners selling that spice rum. It's crazy. But at any rate, it's become like a hobby for me now. And it's actually nice, because it gives you a chance to, explore some different, permutations of combinations. Yeah, John says never. He's never seen any Taiwanese drink tequila or vodka. Yes, they drink, generally speaking, they drink whiskey, because Taiwan, I heard, is the 3rd or 4th largest consumer of whiskey in the world. And then they drink the sorghum. Hey, Kenron, how you doing? They drink the sorghum Galeon. Yes, thank you. Beer or Galeon. Yes. Kenron, how you doing? Nice to have you with us. So we got 5 viewers. Wow, we're on YouTube Live. So how you doing, Ken? I hit on a really good combination with my spiced rum, and I'll have to publish it. But it was a 2-step process, actually a 3-step process to get it right. So John says he tried 80 proof Galliung recently. You mean 80%. Those numbers are not proof, because proof is half. Those are percentage. You see the 58? It's not 58 proof. The 58 degree, they call it, is 58%. So yeah, 80 proof would only be 40%. So I think you're talking about that you tried. I think you mean that you tried 80%. Cavallon is a world famous Taiwanese whiskey. Yes, it is. But I gotta be honest with you. I don't know why. I've been to the Cavallon brewery, and I sampled all their whiskeys, and there was only one that I thought was like mildly passable, in my opinion. Just my opinion. I didn't really like them. Nice to have you with us, Ken. Ken says he's doing all right. Yeah, okay. John says right, it was 80%, so that's cool. 80%, yeah. That's not a drink, that's a fuel. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. The car conks out. You put that in the gas tank. I mean, you could run a Sherman tank off that stuff. 80%. But I think personally Cavallon is overrated. Although it matures very fast in the Taiwan climate. See, that's the thing. And Scotland's a lot colder, so it takes longer for them to mature in the cask. In Taiwan, it's, I don't know how many times faster because of the weather. The other thing about Cavallon is it's very expensive. It's kind of a way for Taiwanese to show how rich they are, and they are very rich. And I've seen guys drop, $3,000, $4,000 on a bottle of whiskey. Rocket fuel, Kenrod says, that I wouldn't even, I wouldn't spend $1,000 on. And they're talking about spending like $120 on a bottle that I wouldn't spend $30 on. There are so many other whiskeys, but John says, yes, 80% is lighter fluid. Yep, you don't drink it, you start your fire with it. And I'll tell you what, you can use it for a coolant. Because you take your hat off and you pour it in your hat and it evaporates and makes your head cool. So yeah. And that's what I've done. I actually have used some of those concoctions. I won't call them drinks, but some of those concoctions for lighter fluid to start fires with. Some of them are really good for cooking. You get a wok going and throw a shot of it in there, you get a big old flame going. It gets that dragon's breath flavor. You are so right about the status of it. But anyway, this other stuff that I just discovered a couple of days ago at A-Mart, I've got a picture of it, and I'm gonna have to post it on Twitter and tell everybody what it is. But it is an inexpensive whiskey. It's a Scotch. It's a single malt. It's a Highland Scotch. It has a little bit of a cereal aroma to it, a little bit of a cereal flavor, but they smoke the malted barley with peat, so it's peat smoked. John says, I think Cavallon is overpriced on the world market, but Taiwanese will use it to show their status. Yes, that's what you were saying about the status. Status, right? Yep. And Daniel says, YouTube has become my favorite platform to look at live or replay broadcasts. Cool. The only thing I don't like, now my favorite platform is Broadcast, and Broadcast is having issues right now. They've been having trouble reconnecting with their Amazon network, and they told me I spared everybody, the violin concerto, but they did get back to me and tell me what's going on, and they're working real hard to get it fixed. But in the meantime, we're using YouTube Live. But the bad thing, and I don't know why they won't fix it, why I'm reading them all. It sounds, like we're in kindergarten here. Actually, it sounds like Ask the Manager, where people are mailing stuff in, So-and-so from Spokane, Washington writes. I mean, that's what it sounds like, but that's okay. Because obviously this is an interactive kind of show, and I don't want any replay viewers to be left out and feel that that they don't know what we're talking about because they can't read the questions, which happened a couple of times. Back in the old days of Catch, I built my website on Catch, but the problem is when you looked at the replays, the chat wasn't automatically enabled. You had looking at, the broadcast, and they couldn't see the comments, and they just felt like it was a conversation between somebody else and not them, and that's really important. You want to have a conversation with your viewing audience, but you want anybody to come in, that's new to come in, to feel welcome and like they're part of the conversation. Everybody hates that when you show up and there's a group of people talking and nobody turns to you and says, "Hey, how you doing?" Nobody says, "Hey, come on, join the conversation." That sucks. Nobody likes that, and you kind of get that. Daniel says we can see all the different comments. Yes, you can, but the minute I press the stop button, those comments go away. They look way better than Periscope. Yes, they do. Periscope is low resolution, but by design, because they wanted the comment, they wanted the latency to be low. That's the word I'm looking for. They wanted low comment latency, but yeah, that's true. And they do. It does look better, and I like it a lot better. And if broadcast never comes back, if something happens and it just doesn't work out, I'm probably going to stay with YouTube. But they've got to save the comments. They've got to save the comments. I'm still waiting for the YouTube app itself to enable live streaming from the app. For me, I don't qualify yet. I don't have 100 followers. I got 80 followers on my YouTube live channel. Now, Jaspy, are you still here? Or did you split? You still here, Jaspy? Because you're being real quiet. And I don't want to leave anybody out. So yeah, I did notice, John, it looked pretty good, and it reminded me. I wanted to ask you: did you do it on 480 so you would have better comment latency, or what? As opposed to 1080. And of course, YouTube does 360 like nobody. The only other people that do 360 is VR.tv. Yeah, Daniel says, I agree. YouTube must save the comments. Well, let's write to Google and tell them. Tell them to fix it. They're probably not going to listen to me. But if they get enough people telling them that, they should. So, yeah, John says we need to get your numbers up to 100 followers. Well, if you guys, feel like it, you can look up the channel Taiwan Live TV, one word, Taiwan Live, Live TV, one word, and subscribe to it. And then I'll get it on my phone, and then I can just switch accounts and use it. But that's okay. I think I could. Maybe I hope I can switch accounts and use it. So, yeah, I got 80 on Taiwan Live. For me, it's never been about collecting followers, and I know it's the same for you too, John. It's not about collecting followers. It's about trying to do quality stuff. But sometimes you need to, go to a different level. And this is a perfect case where I need to try to get to that level where I can get the live button on YouTube. Now, everybody knows Dave in Osaka. Dave's not with us. He's probably asleep because it is late in Japan. It's midnight in Japan. But if you haven't followed Dave in Osaka on YouTube, follow him. He did some. He does some great stuff. Usually on Friday evening from Gion. He does the geisha spotting scopes. You can call them on YouTube. John says, I haven't changed the resolution on any of the platforms. Okay, well, I want you to know that on the motorcycle, the scooter Avalanche, I clicked on quality and it was 480. I couldn't get it any higher than that. Daniel says, MJ, keep going with YouTube and you'll get 100 followers easily. Maybe on this channel. I guess it doesn't matter which channel to me, and that way I can get it. So yeah, John says it's about quality and the number of people watching. Yes, that's right. That's right. Not subscribers, he goes on to say. So yeah. But the problem is some of these platform owners, like Periscope and YouTube, use subscribers as some indication, and I don't think people that have been on Periscope for 2.5 years, and they've got, the first, 5,000 subscribers they got were back then. They're not even using the platform anymore. You know what I mean? So they got all these subscribers that aren't active. It would be interesting if the app were to, say, drop off subscribers who haven't looked at one of your scopes, say in 6 months. Then you only got active subscribers. That would be very, very interesting if you could do that. But nobody would want to do that because it would make their numbers lower. I'd be willing to do it because it would make everybody honest. It lower. How many subscribers I have on this channel. So John says, I just don't believe any of the numbers on Periscope. John, give me a high five. Let me tell you, nobody does. Nobody does. Because if you've been on Periscope as a broadcaster, sometimes you get ridiculously high numbers. You press end broadcast, you go, wow, I didn't know that had 7,500 viewers. Holy cow. And then a week later, you've got 75. The inconsistency is it drives you nuts because you don't know. John says they just don't seem real. That's it. They don't. And the problem is the numbers have to be right. If you're not serious about broadcasting, it doesn't matter. If you are serious about broadcasting and you're trying to hit like critical hours, you're trying to do a quality broadcast and reach the number of people that you can to do something like, for example, like to spread the word about Taiwan. It's not necessarily about, people seeing me, but like what you're showing. And the problem is if the numbers aren't real, you don't know what's working. Daniel says, except me, I think it's real numbers. Well, okay. Nothing wrong with that. But it's frustrating when you can't use those numbers as a tool. Some guys are serious about what they're doing on Periscope, and you need tools. Hey, you need tools. Anyway, Full Scope was they were a statistics company. Then they had a free service, then they went pay, but I don't know anything about them anymore. I haven't used them for a long time, so. Yeah, John says, this is an interesting point. John says, excuse me, how does someone have 50,000 followers but only have 400 to 500 views on a broadcast? That's a very good question. And the answer is because most of those followers aren't active anymore. That's the only reason. That's the only logical reason. Those followers came from a long, long time ago, and they're just not on Periscope anymore, right? And that's true because we've all seen the numbers drop. The number of downloads of the app. And we've all seen people complaining about the app and saying, that they were going to delete it. I remember somebody watched one of my broadcasts and they said I was just about to delete the app and then I found your broadcast. That was nice. That made me feel good. I said, thank you very much. That was nice of you to say that. So, but yeah, how does someone have 50,000 followers but only 400 or 500 views? And John says yes to what I was saying, but he adds, and bots too. That's right, bots. Don't get me started. Well over a year ago, I made the comment that Periscope was more like a Yahoo chat room than a live streaming app because of the bots and because of the fake numbers and everything. So Daniel says, because many followers stop after a time to look at their broadcast. So I think what you're saying is many followers stop looking at a broadcaster's broadcast. Yes, but they don't go and unfollow that broadcaster. They just ignore them. Yeah, I know. Well, the people like me who were using the app early on. Of course, I started later than the iOS because it just wasn't available. I came online in September, I think, with Periscope with Android, Oh, John says he's got to go. Catch you later. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Thank you, John. We'll get together soon, okay? And remember, at the very latest, I'll see you in January. So I hope to see you before then. For JL and company coming here to Taiwan. So you take care. Rob, hello. Nice to see you. Rob is here. Rob Ebner, ladies and gentlemen. And you want to follow Rob too? He's in Peoria, and he has some really nice looking broadcasts from that part of the country. And it's a really beautiful part of the country. So we were just talking about, you know, how you can have 50,000 followers on Periscope but only 400 or 500 views on a broadcast. Those of us who go back far enough are really kind of sad about what's happened to Periscope. It's become unusable. It's become unusable. Thanks, John. Take care, man. It's become unusable because of Twitter's terms of service, and also because of the kind of broadcasts that are on the platform. My little kid, Phoenix, used to jump on my lap and say, "Papa, show me Periscope." I won't do that anymore. Nope. No way. Not with all the stuff I've seen, the bad stuff for a little kid. You know, she doesn't need to see that. The only way is like if I'm already watching something like Dave or John that I know is going to be okay and there's not going to be any objectionable content. But you know, Dave did a really cool scope when he had the Maiko, I think it's called. The Maiko is the lower level geisha. And man, oh man, that was really cool. But he did it on Periscope. I wish he did it on YouTube because I would like the resolution. I wish he did it on YouTube Live. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to get a GoFundMe page for Dave to pay for a geisha, a real geisha, a high-level one, so he can have an evening with her and he can do it on YouTube Live. What do you guys say about that? Can we get an amen? This is nice. We've had a good crowd tonight. Now, tomorrow night, my time, is the local Huko night market. And depending on what I'm doing with my family and also the weather, because if it rains, the night market's off. But depending on what I'm doing with my family, because you know, I take my family out to eat, and depends when we get back, or if I decide that I want to eat there as opposed to some. All I'm saying is I may be on from the night market. What's happening in January? Asked Ken. JL and some other scopers are coming to Taiwan for the first time. I believe the other gentleman's name is John in LA. And the floor has been open. Caspar is coming at that time. The floor has been open. Dr. D is talking about coming over too. And also Saki's thinking about it. Yuka's already said that she's going to come. So there's going to be quite a few. And they all want to come over here next door to the iconic little movie set. And they want to, you know, be in front of the Vietnam restaurant. So what would be really cool is this, as if everybody scoped it on something all at the same time. However many people are there, that we all have all this live streaming going. So that's what's going on in January. So Ken, if you want to come over and make it in January, we've got a stool over there with your name on it. Now, I've already told Winwin that in January some very famous live streamers are coming here. She's ready for this. She's ready. So what we might do is we might even go upstairs and do karaoke. Do you guys remember? Do you remember when John Ho came here with Jevons and I? That's the night that we did the prank. Do you guys remember that on Periscope? And my phone kept crashing on Periscope. Now I got an iPhone, that won't happen. But I mean, what a fun time that was. Now YouTube doesn't crash, and so all we got to do is just, you know, all I got to do is mount my phone in the gimbal and leave it there all evening. So that would be really sweet, as if we could do a uh, broadcast down here showing the food and things that we got, and a chat, and maybe some interviews, because a lot of people the guy, they want to ask questions about him, for example, and maybe some of the other scopers. But then we could go upstairs to the karaoke room. That would be really cool, or somewhere else, like maybe T's place. By the way, T had an operation. I have yet. Yes, Ken says he remembers that it was fun. T had an operation, a brain operation, and I haven't heard anything from him. And he had it he had it last Wednesday, so I'm going to try to call him tomorrow. Usually, excuse me, I've sent messages to his phone. He's had 2 other operations, and I sent messages to his phone, and they've been ignored by, I think, his girlfriend, who's holding his phone for him, because they were in English. But I'm going to try to call his phone tomorrow and see if he answers. His brother is supposed to be in town, Vincent, but I'm kind of worried because his place is closed, and it hasn't been a week. He usually doesn't take that long to recover. So, a brain operation, they don't open the skull. They use a catheter. They go up through the thigh. They go up through the arteries into the brain. That's how they're doing it. So, but if anything happens to him, I'm going to be really, really upset. So I'm just letting you guys know. Anyway, that kind of sidetrack. Let's talk about maybe going to T's. But there's karaoke rooms upstairs here at the coffee shop, which I've never been in. We've never been in from the coffee shop. But let me see. Wait a minute. Did I just tell something wrong? I can't remember. I think when John Ho was here, that we went into the restaurants karaoke rooms. I'm pretty sure they were the restaurants karaoke rooms. Anyway, it doesn't matter. That's one of the things that's on the list. And I'll figure one out and I'll keep it quiet. But I'm not going to tell it, anybody what it is. So, we had a really nice session last night. It was a question and answer kind of an AMA, Ask Me Anything, which is really cool. And Stacy was here last night. I don't see Stacy tonight, but Stacy was really cool, asked a lot of really nice questions. So Stacy, if you're watching the replay, I just want to say that we missed you tonight. And we wish you were joining us because you always have some really interesting and cool things to say. So there. And it shows we've got 5 viewers. John took off, so we got 5 viewers. So I don't know if Jaspy's still here. I think Jaspy might be gone. She was in earlier, but of course it's not. It's kind of late. That's win-win. Going into the coffee shop. I just wanted to show her, Ken says, yes, that's major and serious surgery. Hope everything is okay. So, Rob says, so long, Daniel. Hey, Jaspy's still there. Jaspy, all right. Glad to have you with us. Glad to have you still with us. I appreciate it. So that's great. So tomorrow, if everything lines up, I will do a broadcast from the night market, the small night market, and we can do a walk around in YouTube. I haven't done a walk around on YouTube. I showed it on broadcast. I showed it on Periscope. Jaspy's about to head off. Take care. We'll see you. Thank you, Zaijian. And I think, because of the time, thank you very much. Jaspy speaks Cantonese and Mandarin and English. Kind of a brain. Not kind of. Yeah, so if I can do the night market, then I can, the night market expands and contracts so much depending on, how many vendors are there at night, so. Yes, thank you, Daniel. Daniel says, see you, MJ, at the night market tomorrow. Thank you. I think you mean you're leaving, Daniel. And if you are, thank you very much. And merci. And we'll see you. We'll see you tomorrow, hopefully. But they got the night market steak there, and they got draft beer, and it's a cool place to hang out. Any requests? Oh, Rob says he's traveling to, I see, I missed this, I'm sorry. Rob says traveling to San Diego on Wednesday. Any requests? Yeah, show us around. Show us what you're doing. I don't know anything about San Diego, even though I work for a company that was based in San Diego, but I was working in Massachusetts, and I've never been there. I've only been to California once. I was in Irvine, and we went down to the beach, some beach that was right next to Laguna Beach, and that was it. So yeah, the request is charge the battery, charge the batteries on your gimbal, and make sure it's all, calibrated and everything. Bring your battery bank with you and make sure that you've got, phone power. And yeah, walk around, do a walk around, and it's so much better. But just beware that, like tonight, we've been on the air for 58 minutes, and so far the app has not informed me of any comments at all. Last night, after being on the air for over an hour, it finally clicked and said I had 75 comments. So I'm looking at my secondary device. That's how to do it. It's supposed to show you. You're supposed to be able to press down here in this corner. You're supposed to be able to press that little cloud icon with 3 dots. That's for chat. It's supposed to show you the chat, but it doesn't. It's some kind of a bug. So Rob says he'll try to stream to YouTube. That's good. That'd be good. Because you guys saw, when I was in East Taiwan and I did the night market, and you've seen Dave's stuff, how clean, how clear it is. I mean, really, we're kind of all, in some ways, migrating towards YouTube. The thing is, broadcast resolution is really good. It's really good too, and it's easy. But they're just having issues right now. And so, like I said, I'll spare you the violin concerto, but they've been connecting to Amazon to get the old content back into the system, and just anyway, they're having trouble. And I just will tell you, it ain't their fault. But they're not, they're not Google and they're not Twitter, so they don't have, billions of dollars of financial resources and rooms full of programmers to handle it. They have limited resources and limited programmers, and they're doing the best they can do. But otherwise, I would be using Broadcast, because I think Broadcast is a really good compromise between comment latency and live stream resolution. But in addition to that, I just love those voice messages, and being able to do the voice messages is so significant for me. So anyway, it's been an hour, so I think I will sign off. Yes, I can. I can watch broadcast. I can watch broadcast. Let me see. On the iPhone, I'm trying it right now. Of course, I'm sharing my yeah, here it is. Yep. That's Coco's oxtails. So yeah, it's working. It's working for me. Anyway, things aren't the way they should be yet. And when they are, hopefully everything will be back to normal and it'll stay that way. But I want to thank everyone for joining. I appreciate it. Have a good afternoon, evening, morning, wherever you are. Thanks so much for joining. And I hope to be on from the night market tomorrow night. So you guys take care. And you know what's coming next. Thank you so much for joining. We'll take care. Good night from Taiwan. 再见，晚安。